So Kanye West released his new album Bully a couple days ago. And as you can see, I didn't do a live album reaction to it. And looking back at it, bro, I'm so upset that I didn't. But quite frankly, just to be honest with you, I did it because I didn't think the album was gonna be that good. Which is crazy to say because, in my opinion, Kanye West has the greatest discography in music history. That's what I believe. He's my favorite artist of all time. But it's been a rough couple of years for Kanye West, man. It has. Everything post Donda hasn't been great. Now, I thought Vultures 1, there are some things I really like from it. There are some things I like from Vultures 2. There's even some things I like from Donda 2. But for the most part, it hasn't been the Kanye West that we all fell in love with. Now, look, there is nothing that Kanye West can do, has done, or will do that takes away his catalog for me. That's how I feel about it. I know a lot of people make jokes like, but he made Graduation. To me, that is very true. He made Graduation. He made 808s. He made Yeezus. He made The Life of Pablo. He made Donda. He made Kid See Ghost. There's nothing he can do to take those memories away from me. I remember being in the back of my mom's car when I was little listening to Heartless. Or when I got my car for the very first time and the first song I ever played was Famous or Donda. There's nothing he can do to take that away. But it feels like now, coming into Bully, it felt kind of like how Jordan was when he was playing for the Wizards. Like, you appreciate him there. You're not really expecting anything. It's kind of like whatever. It's kind of cool still seeing him play. But we know that's not Bulls Jordan. That's not 96 Jordan. We're not expecting a championship here or anything. But it's cool seeing him there. Then I listened to Bully. And y'all, it's good. I got to King. I got to This Is a Must. I got to Father. I got to All the Love. And I'm like, all right, hold the fuck up. Hold up. This shit feels like we're entering Tom Brady playing for Tampa era here. We're entering watching LeBron James right now at 41 years old doing what he's doing for the Lakers. This shit shouldn't be happening. Based off of what we saw from Vultures 1 and Vultures 2 and Donda 2. This is very good. And then you get to Sisters and Brothers, and then you get to Bullies, and then you get to Highs and Lows, and then you get to Damn, and it's like, did Kanye West just release the album of the year? It would be the equivalent to if LeBron James wins a ring this year at 40-something for the Lakers. That's what this is like. Now, look, am I biased? Yes. But is it The Life of Pablo? Is it Yeezus? Is it any of that? No, of course not. I've seen some people on the TL trying to say, oh, this is better than Donda. I don't know. It's for sure not touching anything before 2016. But it feels like an album where you think, I know we all see the meme going around of Lightning McQueen with the tarp pulled up, my goat still got it. Is the writing fantastic on Bully? No. Is it anything close to Late Registration or the College Dropout? No. Is the production, even to me, something as great as Yeezus or something as great as Kid See Ghost? No. But is it much better than what we all thought going into it? Yes. And I just wanted to really use this. And let me address this other elephant. And I'm sorry if this review is kind of all over the place. I didn't really know. This is the first time I'm doing really a review like this. So I'm trying to figure out how I kind of want to format this. We're just going to kind of throw our thoughts around. Let me address this one. Because this thing, look, I understand the Kanye out of the music thing, the AI shit, the things he said over the past couple of years. Look, to me, I listen to music. I'm a fan of the music. Am I going to apologize on his behalf for the shit he's done? No. But does any of that shit impact negatively how I went into this album? No. Is there AI on this? I don't fucking know. I can't tell. He said there wasn't. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Is there? Maybe. Maybe. Who fucking knows? If you have to, bro, if you have to deep dive and really oh, hold up, the word he said right there, it sounds a little off from this other Kanye song, and so it's AI. It's not that big of a fucking deal. Now, am I promoting AI usage in music? I'm not. But he said there is no AI. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So that's the thing, right? Now, where do we go from here for Kanye West? Because it's almost still a shock factor of, oh shit, he could build upon this. He could, if the writing just improves a little bit, and the mixing and mastering, which as a Kanye thing, we're less than a week away from the album being released. I'm sure this is not what the album's going to sound like in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We know how Kanye does with the updates throughout the project leak, which I actually kind of think is pretty cool that he does that, but whatever. So where do we go from here? Well, it's almost like, I know I use the sports analogies all the time, but it's almost like you expect LeBron to retire right now. But then you're watching him and you're like, hold up, bro. He could keep doing this. Like, he's still one of the best in the game at this age. That should not be happening. This should not be happening. And the biggest thing that I hope Bully gives off to the music community, because I have went on this rant a bunch of times, and I will continue to do it because I give that much of a fuck about this genre. I care so much about this music that I've said we are in a lack of superstar talent in music. Now, what does that mean? It's more than just the music to be a superstar. Now, does the music have to be great? Yes. Would Drake, would Kanye, would Kendrick, would Travis, would Future, would all of these quote unquote superstars be great without great music? No. But there also has to be a it factor. There has to be a face of the league-esque factor that is, it's hard to obtain, but it seems like none of the new generation really cares about having, which is not a very good sign. It's just not. I mean, if you were to look at it right now, who are the contenders for up and coming face of the league, face of the genre? It's Don Toliver. It's Playboy Cardi. It's Baby Keem. It's the list is very short. Yeet had the opportunity to really put a stranglehold on this, and he put out an album the same day as a 40-year-old Kanye West, and it's much worse. So this needs to be kind of a sit-down moment for a lot of the younger artists in the genre. Like, if we can just focus on the music instead of putting bullshit out, I can really put a stranglehold on this genre. Because Kanye West putting this type of music out at 41 years old, it should not be, it shouldn't happen. And look, I'm not saying this album is great. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that Kanye West should not be putting a better album out than Yeet in 2026. He shouldn't. LeBron James should not be outplaying some of these people that he's outplaying in the league right now. It shouldn't happen. Tom Brady should not be beating Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl that late into his career. It shouldn't be happening, which I understand that one's kind of bad because Patrick Mahomes, that Tampa Bay defense was just absolutely nuts. But again, I know this is all over the place. I think this is very exciting for realizing we might have more time. We might have more time because the J. Cole album to me was not that good. It just wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't. And so I started to get kind of worried because I'm starting to think, shit, Drake doesn't have that much more time. Kendrick doesn't have that much more time. Kanye, we think it might be over. This was the conversation pre-Bully. Now that Bully has been released, it gives you some hope that, okay, Drake Iceman, he's Mr. fucking longevity. I can go on a limb and say I think Iceman's going to be all right. But this has the opportunity to really give the genre more time. Father, the number one song in the world right now. I'm very excited to see if this Kanye West and Travis Scott collab album ends up happening. I believe, here's what I think, and we'll kind of wrap it up here. And I know I really didn't give a review, but just kind of some thoughts. If I'm Kanye West, I try to make this, I think you could make this your retirement solo album. I think that's perfect. I think this is the perfect retirement solo album where you have little bits of who Kanye is in different eras in pieces throughout this track list. You have some of the soul chops, you have some of the industrial Yeezus production, you have some 808s influence. There are things within this album that if 40 years from now, somebody goes on to Kanye West, like, hey, who was this Kanye West guy? And they see, oh, Bully, it's the most, recent release solo album. They can go through this and say, oh, wow, this Yeezus album sounds like King from the Bully album that we listened to. So I think it's a perfect solo farewell. The production for Kanye West is still there. And I don't know if age can even hurt that. I'm sure Timbaland right now could make an insanely good producer album. Metro-esque style, where you just get a whole bunch of artists and say, hey, here's a shit ton of beats I got. Y'all go do y'all's thing on it, right? Age, I'm sure you're not really going to lose your production touch. So if I'm Kanye West, I kind of use this as an opportunity to hand that torch really to Travis Scott, because it's felt like I said during the Utopia reaction, which you can't find on this channel, but I said when I listened to Utopia, I said the biggest feature on Utopia is a man that's not even featured, and it's Kanye West. Because when you listen to Utopia and you listen to Hyena, you listen to Modern Jam, you listen to Schizo, you listen to these tracks and it's like, this sounds like Kanye production. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for Kanye West to really hand that torch off to Travis Scott on a collab album. And if you want to dust your hands off and say, that's my catalog. I think there's going to be some people that, 50, 60 years from now kind of think to themselves, what the fuck happened from 2021 to 2025? You just say, that just, we don't. But he ended it on Bully, So, look, man, I'm shocked. I'm sorry I didn't give a live album reaction to it, man. I'm going to make sure that's just irresponsible of me. That's just irresponsible. Because who the fuck? Let me kind of talk about shit to myself for a minute. I can't believe I would sit there and not listen to a fucking Kanye album for the live album review. Who the fuck do I think I am? This is the greatest artist of all time. He's the greatest artist of our generation. He's got the greatest music catalog in music history. And he did it again.